Anyways, you guys good on Wolves here? Can we get to some Twin stuff here? Big
I've got
Twins.
Oh yeah.
I'm locked and loaded with hot Twins takes.
Perfect.
Yes.
And our Twins discussions, talking Twins every day here on Mackey and Judd, powered by our friends at Dennis Kirk. And summer is heating up, legitimately heating up. Very swassy weekend in the Twin Cities. Motorcycle season is in full swing. So whatever you ride, whether it's a Harley, Indian, Metric, Cruiser, sport bike, you'll find what you need at DennisKirk.com. 160,000 parts and accessories in stock, clothing and helmets as well. Order before 8 p.m. They ship the same day, and shipping is free on orders over $89. DennisKirk.com, best in the business. I have concluded a big home run by Miguel to put the Twins in front in one of those wins over the weekend. Miguel Sano is the Kirk Cousins of the Minnesota Twins in that a lot of his productivity comes either when the season is no longer, like when they're 10 games below 500, or in the case of Kirk Cousins, they were 1-5, and then he hits the gas pedal, or it's in situations within games where the game is largely out of reach. Not all the time, but when you look at Sano's career numbers, okay, when the margin is 4 runs or more on either side of whoever, like whether they're down by more than 4 or up by more than 4, his OPS is 100 points higher in his career than, for instance, in tied games. So big home run, put the Twins in front, but of course, where was he when they were slipping 3 games, 5 games, 10 games, 12 games under 500, right? Then he hits the gas pedal when a lot of the pressure is. So he reminds me of Kirk Cousins. Look at, see? Miguel, you guys wrote off Miguel. Well, where was he when they were 500? Where was he when they needed him in the middle of April, the beginning of May, right?
Yes.
I mean, congrats. You beat the Royals. But, it's like the Jaguars. Well, see, Kirk, I mean, it was the Jaguars, and then it was the Panthers, and you guys were 1-5.
I was going to say, and
where
he
was
just had
this?
one of his worst games against the Falcons.
Yeah. Fair comparison?
Yes. I'm hot about this weekend, and I don't care about the 2 wins.
What do you mean? They won.
They won 2 games. Friday night was a gross embarrassment. I am upset about this weekend. Like, I was bordering.
We got to watch Astudillo pitch again. I don't know. You don't
I
want to
was
have fun
shaking.
while watching baseball.
I was so mad. All right, off your.
He throws eephus pitches.
Yeah, isn't
It's
it funny? Oh, it's great fun. It's fun at the ball yard. It's so great to see complete gross incompetence from everybody, from the manager on down. Yeah, that's a lot of fun. My statement, and it does sort of coincide or work with your Sano statement as well, as my statement is very, very simple. YouTube subscribers, YouTube TV, you were the lucky ones, because you couldn't get Bally Sports North. And people like me lauded it over your head. Oh, I've got it. I've got cable. I pay a big cable bill so I can watch all the Twins games on Bally Sports North. Nana, nana, boo, boo. Yeah, look at me. Aren't I cool? In every way, you won, okay? I give up, including this one. Post-game show yesterday. Coming up on Bally Sport, or on Twins Live, or Bally Sports Live. I don't know what you call it. I don't even care. Coming up, and I believe they showed a graphic on this. Miguel Sano continues, or Miguel Sano's big day, or Miguel Sano's hot streak. Look at the box score yesterday.
Hot streak.
He had a double.
He has like 2 hits in 2 weeks.
He had a double, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. But he had a double that drove in a run on Sunday, and then I believe he struck out at least 3 times, and I think he was 1 for 5. Okay. And you're going to break down post game. You're going to try and sell to me. Let me get this straight. You're going to tell me you're seriously going to sit there and tell a guy who's paying a massive cable bill to get your network that this guy had a good day, and that Miguel Sano, oh man, he really got into a groove because he hit a long home run on Saturday, which we knew was coming, and that he had a double on Sunday, and then he struck out, and he didn't just strike out. He looked completely lost again, completely feeble. Tip of the iceberg, though, because on Friday night, can I get to that just quickly?
Oh, no, the floor is all yours.
On Friday night, I'm watching.
Fine.
On Friday night, again, the guy with the big cable bill, okay? Big cable bill. So I got a right to be and moan here.
Who's got 2 thumbs and a big cable bill? This guy right here.
This guy right here, sitting right here. All right. So on Friday night, I mean, that thing goes sideways instantly. 9 first inning runs against Matt Shoemaker, who I believe got 1 out.
By the way, I loved at the end where Matt Shoemaker in his press conference said he's just baffled. Like, statistically, it's so improbable to give up that. I mean, it really is, Matt. It really is improbable.
9 runs.
So unlucky.
He's Dubnik.
So unlucky.
He's Dubnik. Everything is somebody else's. It just doesn't make any sense. I mean,
How does
God
it
must be
happen?
against me.
Why do these girls keep ghosting me? What am I doing wrong? What is it? Is it me?
It's
Yes, it
statistically
probably
improbable.
is me. Yes.
But we got so again, the guy with 2 thumbs and the big cable bill had to sit through a baseball game where the announcers were basically just started telling stories and ignoring the game and didn't give me anything on this team that has gone so. Give me something. Tell me what's going wrong here. Like, I'm not asking you to rip them for the entire game, which I did put on Twitter. I'd like to back off from that just a little bit, but I am asking you to give me a in-depth breakdown on what's going wrong here. I mean, Shoemaker's giving up 9 runs and nobody's really and somebody could tell me, okay, here's what's going on, or here's what we think. The whole thing it's coming undone at the seams, and I start to get stories about things I don't care about. It drives me crazy. My intelligence is so insulted by any game that Bally Sports North, aside from one guy, Jim Pete for sure, okay? I absolved Jim Pete completely. But aside from Jim Pete, no analyst ever tells me what the hell is wrong.
By the way,
it's ridiculous.
there are 105 pitchers in baseball this year who have thrown at least 50 innings to qualify for the ERA title. Matt Shoemaker is the only one with an ERA over 7.
Oh,
You know what's
nice.
weird? You know what's weird about that is it's like I watch him pitch, and I mean he just seems like he's working so hard. Did you see the excuse too about the sweat? He said he couldn't drive.
No.
Oh yeah, he used an excuse about it's incredible. Like
maybe what's happening is other pitchers are using these like amazing, elaborate like science lab substances to get $300 million contracts like Garrett Cole, and Matt Shoemaker has just been using like sweat glands and like. Is Matt Shoemaker just using like the slipperiest substances ever? He can't hit a spot. Someone show Matt Shoemaker what Garrett Cole is using to get some extra spin rate on those pitches.
Could he get a potential from baseball? Could he get a waiver to cheat? So like,
just please, the hitters are like, dude, just here.
Just let him cheat.
I want to hook you up with my guy here. Like he's supplying half the pitchers in baseball with a tacky substance.
I got this stuff from Europe. It's fantastic. Just give him a waiver to cheat because he needs something.
Oh my god! All right, Declan, go ahead.
Yeah. So as some of our loyal audience knows, I took a little vacay over the weekend. I flew down to North Carolina, and off the Judd's Twins Point, I got on a humongous soapbox on Friday night with my brother and his 2 neighbors in the garage over the Twins. And I think
this is just you guys, or is this on social media? Did I
No,
miss
this was live in person, just us, down in sweltering heat outside of the suburbs in Raleigh, North Carolina. And I think I mentioned on the last time I went down there a few months ago that we go down there, we talk baseball. They're big New York fans. They love the Yankees. They love the Giants. So they saw me right before the season started, and they had they had high hopes for the Twins because they like rooting for the Twins.
For sure.
But they asked me, what the hell has happened? I thought your Twins were supposed to be great. You're going to be winning the AL Central. You'll be in the driver's seat. And I, in a couple cocktails in as well, went on a drunken rage of how much this team pisses me off. So my statement is, even when I'm 1,000 miles away, unplugged from Minnesota sports, the Twins still manage to piss me off. And I just got on an absolute soapbox about it, how they can't pitch. They're old. They have no prospects that are basically being given good opportunities. Their core players are now regressing. And eventually to a point, my brother was like, Declan, we get it. You're pissed off. Get off your soapbox. And I was like, no, I'm not going to get off my soapbox. They asked me my opinion on this ball club. I'm going to give it to him. So even when I'm 1,000 miles away, unplugged from Mackey and Judd, unplugged from Minnesota Twins, I have the group chat muted. I'm not texting you two. I still find a way on a Friday night in another state to get upset about the Minnesota Twins.
I mean, there needs to be therapy for this, and maybe that's what we should just. Maybe that's our business.
That's what we are.
Maybe we need to just pivot and charge people. Listen, if you're finding yourself at family gatherings multiple states away, you're supposed to be unplugged. There's no need for you to at all be following a 13 games below 500 Twins team on a Friday night with family, cocktail in hand, and you just can't unplug mentally. We're here for you on Mackey and Judd. In fact, there's a feedback tab on the new Score North app, which you can download for free on in the Apple and Google Play stores. You tap on that feedback icon. You can send us a quick message, a video, a photo. We can incorporate it into the show. and be your therapist. So check out the brand new Score North app.
There is no such thing as unplugging from your passions, though. I admire that, Declan. You got to carry that passion with you. You got to carry that vitriol.
Well, my passion for the cocktails didn't quit. That was actually heightened. I mean, that was
nothing wrong with that either, Declan. Nothing wrong with that either.
That wasn't an issue for that at all.
All right, let's. Anybody else have any other Twins thoughts? Twin statements here, because I got a couple other topics I want to.
Oh, I got another twin. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. You do your last Twins one.
Oh, yeah. Last Twins one. Dude, you don't know the anger that I felt on Friday night. You don't know that I've
your show. This is your opportunity. This
is your time to shine right here.
Okay. All right. This is off wins, by the way. I'm about to say this off of 2 wins. Rocco Baldelli, you've got to be kidding me. Let me get this straight. Saturday in the 8th, you're up by, I believe, 1 run, 5-4. Taylor Rogers comes into pitch. Looks great. 12 pitches. Bing, bang, boom. Taylor Rogers. 9th inning comes around. I think maybe Taylor will come back because he's pitching well. And this is not an ordinary, you're not sitting in first place here. Your team simply just needs to win a bleeping baseball game. I don't even think it's for position in the standings. I just think you need to win a baseball game. Taylor Rogers, 12 pitches. Oh, yeah, bring him back. Hansel Robles comes in.
Judd hates Hansel.
Immediate double that almost goes out as a home run to center. Now, eventually he gives up a rocket to Simmons that turns into a 6-5 double play, okay? But it was a rocket. So the Twins catch a break. 5-4 win. Okay. All right. Cut a break. At that point in time, Rocco does not make my statements because I'm like, okay, I didn't like that, but whatever. And then he crossed the line on Sunday. Hansel Robles comes in the 8th. All right. Okay. I swallow hard. I get it. Statistically, it looks fine. That's something too, is if you just look at Robles statistics, they look okay. If you watch him, it drives you crazy. So
his ERA is 3.04 this year.
Yeah. Well, and if you look at his outings, he walks guys, but it's way worse to watch than it is to look at box score wise or statistically after the fact. So anyway, Robles, 8th inning, pitches well. Good for him. And now it's Taylor Rogers time. And Whit Merrifield is coming up for the Royals to lead off the 9th. And I believe he's hitting 330 or something off of southpaw. So that's, but I mean, still, Rogers is the better option here. He just is. And Robles isn't. Because if you overextend Hansel, something's going to happen. Rocco sends him back out for the 9th. He gives up an immediate rocket to Whit Merrifield, who's standing on second base. And now Rogers comes in and he does close out the game. But what are you doing, Rocco? You don't have to go by the book. You can go by gut. Taylor Rogers is pitching pretty damn well right now, which actually makes me feel good about him. But Hansel Robles is, and he is the problem with people who actually don't watch games and check out statistics. He's the poster child for the problem. What are you doing?
I don't know, how many options they have. Taylor Rogers can't just pitch all of the innings, and so they have to finish games with guys other than Taylor Rogers sometimes. I agree with you that Hansel Robles walks the plank every time he's out there. But
I would have gotten the Robles continuing to pitch into the 9th if Rogers had pitched 2 innings on Saturday. But I mean, this was just a flip-flop.
See, why can't you watch these games over the weekend and say, wow, another triple play? Miguel Sano is the triple play whisperer. He's just out there every year. He's just turning triple plays. Why can't you just be happy, man?
We've turned more triple plays than playoff wins in the last 20 years.
Oh, absolutely. Since 2017, they've turned 5.
Yeah, they definitely have. I mean, they have a lot more than playoff wins since 2004, right?
No.
How many other teams have as many triple plays turned as the Twins in the last 10 years?
I actually saw this from Sarah Langs, who does a ton of stat stuff. I believe she tweeted from 2005 to 2017 the Twins didn't turn a triple play, and since 2017 they've turned 5.
Yeah. Look at that. See, I don't know. That's what I took away from the weekend. Miguel Sano is clutch, and he's the triple play whisperer. And
I'm still
all
upset
of you
about
are
it.
wrong.
They won 2 games, and I'm still upset. I'm with Declan here. I'm just at my wits.
Do you have
end.
another twin statement?
Let me see. Let me check out my notes. Oh, yeah. One more. One more. Give me more Nick Gordon. I think this kid can play.
Yeah, where was he for like the last 3 years?
He was bare. And well, Phil, the last like 2 weeks, but before he started to play, before I think Arise got hurt, Nick Gordon was with the team. They just wouldn't play him. Like, it was the most incredible thing because they play guys. I mean, they play everybody they can, but they wouldn't play Nick Gordon. So, but here's what they need to do, and it's not that hard. Nick Gordon played second. I would personally, at this point in time, a lot of days, not every day, but a lot of days, move Polanco back to short for now. And Simmons can play occasionally until I trade him. But Andrelton Simmons playing for you right now, like if the choice is exploration of the future, right? Or let's try and milk a win from a shortstop who at the plate does almost nothing, but he can play short. Okay, that ship sailed in April. Like, that's gone now. This team lost entirely too much. So I want to see as much of Gordon as possible because I think there's a fighting chance here that he can really play. And seeing Simmons play does you no good. It does you no good at this point.
I hear you. Yeah, I mean, they need to showcase some of these guys to be traded. I think we're kind of, now that we're in June here, we're a week into June, you're getting to the point where, all right, I know they just won 2 straight games, and there's probably still a lot of people, I'm sure Twins Daily will have 9 features about how the Twins have turned it all around, but like, they're going to start trading veterans at some point here. So you want Andrelton Simmons to be front and center with the glove to show somebody that, hey, he can come in.
They know he can play defense. They know he can play short.
I'm saying, like, if you sit him 5 days a week, then the value goes down because the other team is going to be like, well,
I think you're going to get.
You're the worst team you're the 4th worst team in baseball, and you guys don't see value.
Play Nick Gordon. That's my mandate. Anyway, I'm done.
All right, here's my moving on to other topics here. Floyd Mayweather is the most boring great fighter of all time, but we keep falling for it. So, most people keep falling for it.
I didn't watch it.
Did you buy the pay-per-view?
I did not buy the pay-per-view, but I did watch it.
Yeah. Got it.
Mm-hmm. You two are robbing the economy every day.
The economy,
I think
please.
Floyd has talked openly before the fight against Jake Paul and after the fight about how this is legalized bank robbery. You know, somebody asked him on one of those Showtime lead-ups like 2 weeks ago. They do the 24/7 thing. You know, a lot of people wondering, why are you fighting a YouTube star in Jake Paul? He goes, when someone offers you a chance to rob a bank legally, you do it. And so there was a point in that fight, which was an 8-round fight. And by the way, Floyd was giving up like 40 pounds in weight and like 4 inches of height. And so like he would never fight someone that size that has an actual background as a professional boxer. But there was a point in that fight where Floyd knocked him out. And you could see Jake Paul's like lifeless body starts to go limp. And Floyd holds him up for like 10 seconds and pretends to hug him so that Jake Paul could come to consciousness and they could
He's got a heart?
No, it's not a heart. He's got a brain. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the more that he can make these exhibition fights look like they're actual competitions, the more he can line, a second one, a third one, a fourth one up. But Floyd Mayweather, and you and I, Judd, went to Royce's house to watch the last real fight he had was against Conor McGregor. Like this was an exhibition against Jake Paul. The Conor McGregor thing was an actual like sanctioned fight. And he makes $100 million off all these regardless of what you call them. But we went to that. So that's the last time he fought in a real fight 4 years ago. The last time he knocked somebody out, not a TKO, like a real knockout, was 10 years ago. He's a defensive fighter.
Yes,
he doesn't throw haymakers. His fights are the most boring of any top fighter in history, and he makes $100 million every time he steps in the ring. Bravo to him, I guess. Bravo to him.
What was the pay-per-view price for this one?
I think it was $50, something like that. I think it was $50. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chad Ochocinco was
Hard
part of
pass.
the undercard, and he went
that.
4 rounds before getting his clock cleaned.
What's going on with guys trying to box who don't know how to box?
I don't know.
Yeah, boxing's in a weird spot.
Who was the basketball guy that tried to box
Nate
6
Robinson.
months? Yeah.
And he got, didn't he get beat by Jake Paul's brother, Logan Paul?
Yes, he got his.
I'm pretty sure now we get like YouTubers are just like fighting.
Do all the
NBA
Pauls
players.
just fight?
What does it say for your sport that like more people are going to pay to watch a YouTuber and a former NBA player than like your actual top stars and your top heavyweights, right?
Yeah, it's sad. Sweet science, though, man. That's a dangerous thing to just dabble in, I would imagine.
Yeah, unless you're fighting Floyd, because honestly, like, Floyd's not going to knock you out. Well, I guess he kind of did.
He might hold you up
the
from what you just said. He might hold you up after he knocks you out.
All right, I think we're back to Declan here, yeah.
All right, yep. After watching what happened in the debacle on the PGA over the weekend, my statement is John Rahm deserved better. 6-stroke lead. He obviously had to withdraw because of a positive COVID test. I know there was a lot of anti-vaxxer people out there, which was, like, I think incorrect information. I believe the thing was he had 1 vaccine shot so far. He had 1 out of 2. He had a close contact with someone, hence why he was getting tested every single day. And I don't know if the PGA is even are they doing the rapid test for every golfer participant every single day?
They were. I don't know if they're
still. What they did is if you have your vaccination card, you aren't subject to that. But the problem was Rahm had contact with a person. He's not, as you said, vaxxed, and he had contact with a person who had COVID. And so in order to participate in that tournament, he had to be tested every single day of the tournament.
Right. But what would you? Oh, go ahead. Keep going.
I was just going to say that, like, I would have loved for him to go out there on Sunday, it's golf. It's the most socially distant sport. He was playing so well. I was conflicted on the fact of when you saw that, because you saw the TV cameras go to him. I mean, for God's sakes, I think Nance made the point, like, I thought someone died. Like, he reacted like literally he had lost someone incredibly close to him. Now, I can understand his frustrations being at an all-time damn high, leading the dang tournament with the day to play up 6 strokes, so the frustration's for sure warranted. But I just thought in general he deserved better, man.
So Jim Nance was recklessly speculating. So the TV footage, I'm guessing, I didn't see it, but so they show him walking off 18 and someone tells him.
Yeah, they literally go to him.
Oh, you didn't see that,
Jim Nance is like speculating on what happened?
So I didn't. Yes, like so they show him. They're like, hey, you did. We just got your results back. You tested positive. He like collapses like down in and was like, you've got to be kidding me. Why is this happening again? I don't know if he's been tested positive before. Or something.
So you heard him say that he was
like, you've got to be kidding me. Yeah, he had a hot mic and everything.
But you guys, he's walking off 18. And like instead of that, why they didn't wait till he got into the clubhouse to be like, "Oh, dude, we got some."
Well, they didn't want him to walk into a clubhouse without a mask. Like,
but like, why wouldn't you like take him away? Like, why would you inform him? He's literally He's just walked off 18.
He's off the green. Yeah,
he's like just off the green, and they like run up to him and tell him.
But they also probably knew before he was walking off the green,
right?
They probably knew when he was.
But
on
my point
14,
is, why wouldn't you take him away from that, like the cameras, and inform him somewhere else? Like they did it right in front of it. It was one of the PR-wise one of the most brutal things I've ever seen.
I saw some people speculating, would there have been a way for him to come out on Sunday and just like play around by himself, carry his own bag if he wants to, and try to protect a 6-stroke lead? And I think my retort to that would be, well, all right, he has COVID, and so you don't want him to just be like out. I know that it's socially distant, but if he hits a ball wayward into the gallery or something, do you have to like back everyone up even more? Like is he going to touch the flagpoles? Like I get it. Like it'd be one thing if it was just a precautionary thing because he had a close contact, but he hadn't tested positive. But like he was confirmed to have had COVID, right? So I don't know if you can let him.
Can I go into a slightly controversial statement off of the whole thing too?
Are we going to get fired right now?
Yeah, we're going to get fired.
No, I don't think we will, but we will rub some people the wrong way. But I want to make it very clear. I'm not passing judgment here. I'm just saying, if you're an athlete, okay, and you elect to, and by the way, this is your right completely. So I'm not saying that this is not your right, but the vaccination has been out there now for quite some time, and the country's got a lot. Like, I don't know why, but we got a lot. If you elect to slow play the vaccination and or simply just say, no, I'm not going to do it, unfortunately, and I think this statement makes perfect sense, you are potentially forfeiting business rights because it's your right not to do it. But as we saw with Rahm, right? It's their right to be like, dude, I'm sorry, you're done. So I think it's a very interesting, like if I'm an athlete, I think no matter politically or vaccination wise, how I feel, I'm doing it for my paycheck. I'm doing it for myself as far as what I do from a business standpoint, which I don't think is a huge controversial statement. But I mean, John Rahm lost millions of dollars because if he had been vaccinated fully, and I believe, And that doesn't mean that you can't get COVID, but they wouldn't have been testing him, I don't think.
Yeah. The other thing too is, not to turn this into a big vaccination debate, but what I've always been confused by, and I've, not disrespectfully, but we don't know what's in it. Well, do you know what's in the smallpox one?
Yeah,
Do you know what's in the polio one? Like, I don't. Have you? I mean, sorry, I haven't taken a microscope to the formula. Like, I don't know what's in it either, but I know that life expectancy keeps going up, so I just sort of trust that it works. But
if you told me if you told me today, Judd, I can give you a shot, and there is a 95% chance you'll be fine, and there's a 5% chance you'll die, but the flip side is, if you take that shot, I will give you $2 million at the end of today. I'm thinking long and hard.
So you're saying if you're John Rahm in that spot and someone offers you, because $2 million wasn't that
it's around the purse probably, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But that's what I'm saying.
But 5% death seems a little high in that case. Would you guys risk
but it's
5%
not 5%
death for $2 million tournament winnings?
But it's not 5%
$2 million?
Well, no, but you just said 5% death.
Well, yeah, no. I'm saying I'm doing that. His choices were simpler because they weren't saying death. But
Declan,
yes,
would you risk 5%
at
death
51,
for a $2 million check?
At
Yes.
51? At 51, I'm doing
100%.
that.
I do that at 28. I do that right now.
Okay, because I'm doing it at 51.
100%. Yeah,
I love how we
5%.
just like the arbitrary 5% death clause
Yeah.
here, which has
100%.
no bearing in reality.
Yeah,
whatsoever.
it's like a Black Mirror episode. But
saying,
yes, I'm down.
yeah.
What's the lowest amount of money that you would take with a 5%
I think I need around 2 million. I think I need 2 million.
couple million?
Like 500,000.
You take
$500,000.
$500,000 for a
half a mil.
but 5%. You have to spin the wheel.
Yeah.
And it's like the Price is Right wheel.
Yeah.
So you would
500,000.
take 500,000? That's
think
not
half a
that
mil.
much, really. I mean, it's good, but it's not great.
Yeah, but no, I would do it. I lived a good life. I'm good. If I win 500,000,
You're
sweet.
not even 30 yet.
Yeah, exactly. Going out in a good time. And I'm not here for a long time. My family history says I'm not going to make it long. So yeah, just give me the 500,000 if I can get it now.
Good for you.
Wow. Declan's Life Roulette is powered by PXG, and all this golf conversation, PXG Minneapolis might not be able to extend your life or prevent you from hitting the 5% death slot on the wheel that we just spun, but they can improve your golf game and lower your score, maybe even under 100 if you're like one of us here. So PXG Minneapolis, Southdale Center, check them out. They've got the Gen 4 golf clubs in stock right now, which are the best clubs that they have ever made, which is saying something. So check it out, PXG Southdale Center and pxg.com/Minneapolis. I think we're back to Judd here. Your next statement, sir.
As a hockey fan, I am glad the Wild lost. This Avs Golden Knights series is spectacular. It is moving at a pace that the rest of the team still playing would love to move. I'm not saying that the rest of the series are bad, but this series, the speed of not just the games, not just the skating, but the passing, the skill is so high. And on one front, I think it's good for the Wild to see what they probably need to work to get to. But two, just as a fan of the sport, if you had told me, well, I mean, the Wild and Avs will be fun, I'd be like, yeah, it might be fun, but I don't think it's going to be particularly close. I mean, since game one, where after the Golden Knights came back, after a day off when they had played the 7th game against the Wild, since game 2, I mean, this series is off the rails as far as speed, as far as skill, as far as if you are a fan, this is exactly what you want from this time of year. So, unfortunately, Wild, I'm sorry. I'm glad you lost because this.
So
is
for
great.
hockey fan Judd is just enjoying objectively a great series between two great teams.
Dex, it's incredible, right?
It is. It's pretty damn awesome.
It's off the rails. Yeah. I mean, the speed
what's
of
the
this thing.
number one thing the Wild can learn from these two teams that they can maybe apply this offseason?
So I got this tweet from a guy named Nick who I don't know why, but we're pretty much in lockstep when it comes to how we think about the sport. And he had a great point, and he's 1,000% right. He's like, it's not the skating speed, it's the speed of the passing, it's the speed of how they move the puck. And I really think that's the key thing. Like, watch that part because the Wild can definitely has some guys that can skate, but this would be like having skill wise, Dex. I would equate this to if you had 3 or 4 Kaprizovs on your team as far as skill goes.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Like this is a tutorial in why. Well, Victor Rask can play for you. No, he really can't. Well, Ryan Hartman's fine at center. Actually, he's not.
It's funny, like, and this is from non-hockey expert guy here, but we do talk a lot about speed, and you do need speed, quickness. You need to get to loose pucks, etc. But how often are you going to take a puck from your own end and just skate it? You're just going to weave through 3 opposing players into the offensive zone, right? It's a tic-tac-toe precision passing game, being able to make those passes, accept the passes, and skate in. So I agree. I like that point. Good stuff.
Last one.
Yeah. Any final statement? I have a final statement for you guys, and this probably hits more with Judd than with Declan, because Judd's an animal lover, and he has.
We
had to put Tommy down on Saturday, and like legitimately like top 5. Like if I'm ranking all the people and animals, and I grew up on a hobby farm, so we had a lot of animals. If I'm ranking like the top 5 people and animals that I've been sad about, like my mom dying was number 1. Tommy is top 5, maybe top 3. And my statement is, I always wonder, like whenever an animal dies, like I've had cats and dogs and horses and stuff, and I always wonder, is it worth it? Like you just feel like garbage, and it just like rips your soul out when you have to put these animals down because they're suffering or if they die some other way. And I've come to the conclusion that it is worth it. Like if you're a pet lover. So my statement is it's worth it, even though they only live like 10 to 15 years and inevitably like they're going to die and you're going to be sad. Totally worth it. So R.I.P. Tommy. Little Tommy, man.
Good life though, at least.
Yeah, we had him. We had Tommy and Tigger for we adopted them 4 years ago. Always adopt, help, and by the way, like
rescue.
We knew, so we adopted when they were 9 and 10. We adopted them from, I think it was the Woodbury Humane Society. And our first thought was, man, like they're 9 or 10. We don't know what their backgrounds are, so we don't know like all their health records and stuff, and which makes it even less. They're probably not going to live till they're 20.
Right.
And so Tigger died 2 years later, and then Tommy died 4 years later. But worth it every single time for the joy they bring to your life. Just for Declan, just avoid the horses if they terrify.
That's no problem.
The horses.
That is no problem. I mean, I've loved the idea of having a dog. I watch my friends' dogs all the time. I've always wanted a dog. I didn't grow up with a dog, but I've always really, really wanted one. And at the same time, though, because I despise when this happens with a lot of people who are my age who have gotten dogs, especially over the last year because of COVID. I can't stand when people get a dog and they then still are out 12 hours later partying and doing all this. Like, that's why I haven't gotten it yet, because I know that's a commitment. Like, that is a humongous, especially for a dog, that's a humongous commitment that you have to make time for.
Leave him alone.
Yeah.
Small
I know
doggy.
you. I know Judd's thoughts on leaving the dog alone. But yeah,
he's fine.
You teach your dog how to use the human toilet, then you're fine.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? And open the fridge. If they can teach them how to open the fridge and use a human toilet, you can just go away for a week.
Stella
there's
doesn't need
beer and kibble in the fridge.
No. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't go away for a week. But a small dog you can leave alone for a while, and she's very happy. She'd rather avoid us half the time.
What sucks about, and it's been a while since I've had a dog. It's probably been like 10 years, but with cats particularly, they don't let you know that they're in pain until like they're 3 days away from dying. You know?
Yeah.
Like Tigger. So Tigger was always life of the party, like wake you up at 6 a.m. Hey, clowns, feed me breakfast. Like, you know, and then all of a sudden he just got quiet for a couple of days and started drooling more. And then he stopped eating. And we were like, oh, he must have a tooth issue or something, right? Oh, no, he has inoperable mouth cancer and you have to put him down immediately. With Tommy, it was like he was bouncing around and he was life of the party. And then he's like eating less. And then a couple days later, he's not eating at all. Oh, let's take him in. Oh, he has lymphoma, or, you know, it's like, okay.
Right.
All right.
Well, I'm sorry about that, because that is a hard day. I remember when we put our dog down years ago, and it was just sucked.
Did you go from Holly to Stella, or did they live together?
No, we went from Holly to Stella. In fact, we put Holly down, I forget the year, and then we got Stella in 2011, but it was a pretty quick transition. But when they put her down, we went into the room when they gave her the injection, you know, and
my God.
I just bolted out of there bawling. It's like that's more. I'm not not proud of this, but I handled the death of my parents far better than that.
100%.
Like I was prepared, and I was like, okay, there's just something weird about it. I don't know.
No, well, this is going to sound potentially callous toward humans too, but like when grandparents or like I've had a couple friends, tragically pass away over the years, right? Like if it's an animal, they're part of your daily, literally like your minute by minute daily consciousness, and they're just a companion for you. They're part of your daily fabric. You build these little routines and rituals, and there's just like 100 things that when they're gone, it's like, oh man, there's a presence that they fill up in your house. So it's like, it's literally like ripping away like a part of your soul when they die.
I do think when Stella passes, I would never go a long period now without a dog again. Because their personalities are such where that the one good thing is they can be replaced. Like it's not the same, but like I don't think it helps to be like, well, there will never be a cat like Tommy again.
Well, you're treating it like Rick Spielman in the Vikings.
I think it helps to replace him. I'm just telling you. And
sorry,
know what?
Mike Hughes, you're replaceable.
Sorry, 7th round pick, but we want all of them. We want all the 7th round picks.
I'm just saying like if I'm the GM of the house, I'm going to replace the dog.
That's the one. So we spent so we put him down on Saturday. It was just like the worst ever, and we just like
awful.
needed to be like in isolation for at least 24 hours. It's like it's gonna suck for a few more days. But we just like took a bunch of his stuff to Goodwill, and then we threw some of the other stuff away. We got pictures and we've got some things, but we just like didn't want to be around like his like unused cat beds, and so we just thought it'd be therapeutic. Let's remember him with pictures, but let's get some of the other stuff out. And now it's like it's been 4 years since we haven't had an animal, and we're kind of like we just need a minute. We might need like 5 months or something. And honestly, I guarantee you, in like a week, we're going to be looking at Humane Society websites and stuff for dogs and cats. But
I think you're right. I think you definitely need to transition from the previous cat or dog stuff to the new. So like I think purging stuff, because we did the same, is a good idea. Like, because you can't pretend that it's the same cat or dog. So that's probably a good move.
So my grandpa, this is hilarious. So he's like 91 or 92, and he's just his wife 30 years ago, who was my blood grandma, died tragically. And then he got remarried, and then his remarried wife died a couple months ago. So she had Alzheimer's and was in a home for like 2 years. So he's been kind of solo, and he's had some tragedy. So he got a dog named Max, a schnauzer named Max.
That's what Holly was.
In the 90s. Little schnauzers are the best.
Love schnauzers,
They're great dogs.
So he's now on, I believe, Max number 4.
Every
time Max dies, he gets another schnauzer and names the dog Max.
God bless him, man. That's awesome.
For 20 plus, like 25 years or it might be like 30 years of schnauzers named Max, and he just keeps going forward.
I like that idea. I might steal that.
That's what Don should do. If you get hit by a car today, like
Judd
just
too.
Go find another dude named Judd who likes
or just
beer.
have him change his name. Or just call him Judd. Judd 2, Judd 3.
A humane society
or she might start to get
investigated
husbands. If she gets to Judd 3. There might be a little bit of an investigation as to the demise of Judd 1 and 2.
So it's always worth it, I guess.
Yes.
The life lesson here. Federated, we appreciate Federated. People ask us, what's the best way that we can support you guys and support what you do at Score North and Mackey and Judd and Purple Daily. Support our sponsors. And if you have a chance to either buy something from a PXG or Dennis Kirk, or if you're a business owner, work with a Federated, it'll help you. It'll also help us. Also, Federated has been tracking some important things. Like, for instance, in 2020, over 43,000 Americans died in vehicle crashes, which is almost 3,000 more than in 2019, despite fewer people being on the roads. So tragedy can happen in an instant, and we just need to do a better job of handling the things that are in our control as drivers. So for your safety, for your loved ones, let's all remember to drive safely. Remember, the MyShield portal at federatedinsurance.com has great safe driving resources for you and your employees. At Federated, it's our business to protect yours. All right, so we had Declan ranting to his relatives and friends in North Carolina about the Twins. Karl Anthony Towns headed to the Blazers, according to Stephen A., and some animal advice for all of you. It's a packed show today. Don't forget to check out our daily Vikings conversations on the Purple Daily Podcast. We'll see you guys tomorrow.